Have you ever wondered what was actually on the table the night Jesus shared that famous Last Supper? Not the paintings, not the stained glass windows, but the real, humble, flavorful food that filled his plate every single day. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might completely change the way you think about eating simply, eating well, and eating with purpose. 2,000 years ago, in the dusty hills of Galilee and the busy streets of Jerusalem, there was no such thing as fast food, no sugary snacks, no processed anything. What people ate depended entirely on the land around them, the season of the year, and what their family could grow, trade, or catch. Jesus, being a Jewish man raised in Nazareth and later traveling through towns like Capernaum, would have eaten very similarly to the average working person of his time. That means his diet was shaped by the region's climate, the Jewish dietary laws found in the Torah, and the simple farming lifestyle of first-century Judea. So let's start with the most basic and most important food of them all. Bread, not the soft white bread you find in stores today, but coarse, hearty barley bread. Barley was the grain of the common people. Wheat was often more expensive and reserved for wealthier households or special occasions. In fact, in the story of the feeding of the 5,000, the bread the boy offered was barley bread, a small detail that tells us a lot about what regular meals looked like back then. Barley bread was dense, filling, and packed with fiber, something modern nutritionists praise today for supporting healthy digestion and steady energy levels. It also contains important minerals like magnesium and selenium, which help the body manage stress and maintain a strong immune system. Bread like this wasn't just food. It was survival, and it was shared generously, often broken by hand and passed among family and friends. Now let's talk about the fish, because this one is a big part of the story of Jesus and his followers. Many of the disciples were fishermen working the Sea of Galilee, a freshwater lake filled with a variety of fish, including one that locals still call St. Peter's fish today. Fish would have been eaten fresh when possible, or preserved through salting and drying so it could be carried on long journeys or traded in markets. From a nutrition standpoint, fish like this is loaded with lean protein and heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids, the same nutrients doctors recommend today for brain function and reducing inflammation. It's fascinating to think that thousands of years before we had scientific studies on omega-3s, people were already eating exactly what their bodies needed simply because it was available and delicious. Next, let's talk about olives and olive oil. Because in the ancient Mediterranean world, this wasn't just a cooking ingredient, it was practically a way of life. Olive trees grew abundantly across Judea and Galilee, and their oil was used for cooking, for preserving food, for lighting lamps, and even for anointing during religious ceremonies. Olive oil would have been drizzled over bread, mixed into stews, or used to preserve vegetables and meats. Today, we know olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, the good kind of fat that supports heart health and helps reduce harmful cholesterol. It also contains powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation, something researchers are still studying today as one of the secrets behind the famous Mediterranean diet. So when Jesus ate bread dipped in olive oil, he wasn't just eating a simple meal. He was eating one of the healthiest fats known to humankind, long before anyone had a name for it. Now let's move to something naturally sweet. Figs and dates. These fruits grew easily in the warm, dry climate of the region and were often dried to preserve them for months at a time. Figs and dates were a source of natural energy, perfect for someone traveling long distances on foot, which Jesus and his disciples did constantly. Modern nutrition science tells us that figs are rich in fiber and potassium, which support healthy digestion and balanced blood pressure. Dates, on the other hand, are packed with natural sugars for quick energy, along with fiber and important minerals like iron and magnesium. It makes perfect sense that these fruits were dietary staples for people who spent their days walking from village to village, teaching, healing, and connecting with others. Grapes were another important part of the diet, eaten fresh in season or dried into raisins for the colder months. Vineyards were common throughout the region, and grapes were also used to make wine, which was a regular part of meals, often diluted with water and enjoyed in moderation. Grapes are full of antioxidants called polyphenols, which support heart health and help protect the body's cells from damage. Wine in ancient times wasn't about excess. It was about hospitality, celebration, and in many cases, safer hydration since water sources weren't always clean. Speaking of protein, let's not forget lentils and beans. Two humble but powerful foods that would have appeared often at the table. Lentil stew, sometimes flavored with onions, garlic, or local herbs, was a common and affordable meal for families who couldn't always afford meat. Lentils and beans are excellent sources of plant-based protein and fiber, and they're still recommended today for maintaining stable blood sugar and supporting heart health. These humble legumes were the backbone of daily nutrition for working families, offering strength and energy without needing expensive ingredients. Meat, especially lamb, would have been reserved mostly for special occasions like Passover, since raising and slaughtering animals was costly and time-consuming. So, while lamb holds deep symbolic meaning in Jewish tradition and in the Christian story of the Passover meal, it likely wasn't something eaten every single day. Herbs played a big role too. Things like mint, dill, cumin, and coriander were used not just for flavor, but because people understood, even without modern science, that these plants supported digestion and overall wellness. In fact, Jesus even referenced these herbs directly in the Gospel of Matthew when he spoke about tithing mint, dill, and cumin, showing us these were common, everyday plants people grew and used regularly. Herbs like these are now known to contain antioxidants and antimicrobial properties, supporting gut health in ways ancient people understood through experience, even if they didn't have the scientific words for it. And then there's honey, one of the oldest natural sweeteners known to humanity. Honey was used both as food and as medicine in the ancient world, valued for its natural sweetness and its ability to soothe sore throats or heal minor wounds. Modern science confirms honey has natural antibacterial properties and can help calm inflammation, which explains why ancient cultures across the world independently discovered its healing power. And, of course, we can't forget the most essential part of any diet. Then and now, clean water. Water in the region often came from natural springs, wells, or cisterns that collected rainwater, and it was treated with real value and respect since access wasn't always guaranteed. Staying hydrated in the hot, dry climate of the Middle East would have been absolutely essential, especially for someone constantly traveling on foot like Jesus. Now, here's something important to understand. This diet wasn't the same every single day or in every single season. In the warmer months, fresh fruits and vegetables would have been abundant, while in the colder months, people relied more on dried fruits, stored grains, and preserved foods. Diets also varied depending on location. Someone living near the Sea of Galilee likely ate more fish, while someone farther inland may have relied more heavily on grains, legumes, and vegetables. Even social and economic status played a role. Wealthier households might enjoy meat more often, while working families like the one Jesus grew up in likely ate simply, seasonally, and resourcefully. What's truly remarkable is how closely this ancient way of eating lines up with what modern nutritionists now consider one of the healthiest diets in the world, the Mediterranean diet: whole grains, healthy fats from olive oil, fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, fish, and moderate wine. These are the exact same foods doctors and dietitians recommend today for heart health, brain function, and long-term wellness. It's almost poetic when you think about it. The same simple foods that nourished Jesus and the people of his time are the very foods modern science now confirms as some of the best choices for a long, healthy life. There's something deeply grounding about realizing that good health was never about complicated diets, expensive supplements, or trendy superfoods. It was about eating what the land naturally provided, prepared simply, shared generously, and enjoyed with gratitude. So, the next time you sit down for a meal, maybe consider adding a little more olive oil, a handful of lentils, some fresh beans, or a warm piece of whole grain bread. Not only will you be nourishing your body the way modern science recommends, but you'll also be connecting, in a small but meaningful way, to a way of eating that goes back thousands of years. If you enjoyed learning about the real, Historical diet of Jesus. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more videos exploring biblical history and ancient nutrition. And drop a comment below telling me which one of these ancient foods you'd like to try adding to your own diet today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.